Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to cover the third part of weather routing, the routing add-ons. We'll see concretely how to calculate the best departure and how to determine the ideal departure time based on a desired arrival time. Let's start with calculating the best departure. For this example, we'll take a crossing of the English Channel from the Bay of Saint-Brieuc to Cowes on the north side of the Isle of Wight in England. I start by creating a new route. I long press on the Bay of Saint-Brieuc to set the departure point, then long press just off Cowes for the arrival point. I then add the automatic waypoints to properly go around the Isle of Wight. Once the route is calculated, I get the results in just a few seconds, as usual. However, a crossing of the English Channel is heavily influenced by tidal currents, which can be significant on this route. The best start option will allow us to find the most favorable time to take full advantage of them. Instead of running a standard calculation, I go to the best start option. Starting from my planned departure time, I'm going to calculate 6 departures at 2-hour intervals. This allows us to cover a full tidal cycle well. Depending on the weather situation, you can of course choose a wider interval, 6, 8, or even 12 hours. Be careful though. The weather source must have a sufficiently long forecast horizon to calculate all these routings. I launch the calculation. 6 routings are generated. In my case, it takes less than 30 seconds. I then get a very clear summary table that compares the 6 options based on several criteria: crossing duration, sail/motor breakdown, 6 mixed routings, total distance sailed, range of apparent wind, gusts, type of sail used, wind angles, and wave heights. At the bottom of the table, I select the row corresponding to the departure time I'm interested in. The map then displays the 6 routes superimposed. This lets me visualize the progress of the different boats with a departure every 2 hours and immediately analyze the impact of the currents on the trajectories. For each route, I can display the detailed route information as well as the route table. If I want to explore another option in more depth, I go through route management to set it as the main route. Once I've made my choice, I click Export to Routing. After a few confirmation screens, I find my standard routing ready to use for navigation. This feature is extremely useful not only for optimizing tidal current passages, but also for minimizing engine time, choosing more comfortable sea conditions for the crew, or simply leaving with the best possible winds. Now let's move on to estimating the departure time. For this, let's take a concrete example, a route from Porqueroles to Minorca, specifically the entrance to Fornells Bay. As usual, we go to Calculate Route, but this time, instead of clicking directly on Calculate, we go back to Best Start. I want to arrive on July 17th in the early afternoon around 2 p.m., so I enter the desired arrival date and time, then click Estimate Departure Time. Avalon calculates the route and tells me, after a few seconds, that to arrive on the 17th at 2 p.m., I should depart on July 16th at 6:10 a.m. Of course, don't expect train-like precision, so plan a safety margin. To check the reliability of the calculation, I click Use as Departure Date, then switch back to Standard Route Calculation mode. I recalculate. The route appears with the departure set for July 16th at 6:10 a.m. Looking at the route table, I see that I'll arrive on July 19th at 2:20 p.m. The estimate is therefore very good, but remember this is still weather routing. Everything depends on the accuracy of the forecasts and the quality of your boat's polars. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to subscribe. I'll see you very soon for a new tutorial. Thank you very much for your attention.